New Area 51 guns have just been leaked, and in today's video we are going to show you all of the brand new leaks, and of course we are joined by Bio.
I'm Bio. What's up, guys? I am the guy that made the Christmas update. I'm a developer. And something else that we're going to be wanting from this video, we want your guys' input on how these gun skins are going to actually work in the game, like how you would obtain them and stuff.
We want to know what you guys think because there are multiple ways that these gun skins could be unlocked, but they aren't confirmed yet. And so we're going to be showing you guys 5 alternatives for how these guns could be unlocked in this game. And your input matters because this could be the future of the game. Your idea could be the one that makes it. So please comment below your thoughts on these gun skin ideas. And of course, without further ado, let's begin the first gun skin idea, which is the most controversial one: loot boxes. Now, loot boxes, yeah, Bio doesn't like loot boxes. A lot of people don't like loot boxes for obvious reason. It's RNG. You just get your currency and then you buy it and you don't even know what you're buying. Loot boxes are a way these skins could be released because, of course, some of them could be rare, etc. I don't think loot boxes are going to be the solution to Sactic here. I don't think Homer's going to gun for them, but they are, of course, an option. Let me know, guys, what you think about loot boxes. Some people said they'd quit the game if loot boxes came to Sactic. Would you quit, Kyle?
I don't think I would quit. However, I do want to mention that adding loot boxes could potentially get like Sactic banned in certain countries because more countries have been like cracking down on loot boxes in video games, especially Roblox.
Yeah, that is very true. Loot boxes have been getting banned. But yeah, that is the first option. Loot boxes. It is more RNG, and so yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to the second option: loot drops. What are loot drops? Well, basically, when you kill killers in Area 51, you know how they drop case files? They'll drop an item with a certain chance. That is basically still RNG, but it could happen with gun skins. What if you killed a killer and there's like a 5% chance it could drop a skin? That could be something in the future that Homer could do because that encourages people to play the game, but it also, you know, adds some RNG to actually killing the killers, or at least gets you something for doing it potentially. This is interesting. That's why people love case files, actually. Case files are probably some of the people... I know personally I love case files. So this would be really interesting, but it still would be RNG. Bio, what are your thoughts on this? And guys, make sure to comment below your thoughts as well.
All right. So as you guys have probably seen, there's been a screenshot going around of the actual like UI, which has been leaked by Homer himself. We're allowed to see it.
Put it in.
Jarvis, pull up the leak. As you can probably see, there is a list of skin names. You know, you got things like Super Brittle, Waste, Natural, Hot, Azure, Ice Cream, and Cyan. But the important things above that are these 3 tabs. We can see regular skins, presumably achievement skins. That's most likely what that second is, and exclusive. So regular would be like, I believe it's some shop method. Achievements would obviously be badges, and exclusives would probably be obtained through special methods, whether it be possibly events or maybe developer exclusive skins, or like you said, War, possibly those loot drops as like, you know, a couple of rare variants.
Well, yeah, those are the 3. This is actually a very big leak, guys. Actually, we'll just take a pause here. Loot drops are a way to do this, but with this leak in mind, you have regular skins. Look, we have Super Brittle, Waste, Natural, Hot, and these are skins, guys. This is very interesting. As you can see, the AK-47 in this picture has been turned to a light blue Super Brittle texture, and that's going to be very interesting because you might be we're going to be talking about like regular skins in this in particular. Maybe loot drops are the way you get regular skins. Maybe they're exclusive, I don't know. But the third option we have, guys, is a normal shop. So normal shops are your typical thing. You have a menu, and you have a bunch of skins that you could click, and you could just buy it. Flat out buy it, no RNG. You just get your currency, and you're good to go. That is a very possible thing Homer could do to add this. Now, the question mark is, how would the currency work? Would the currency be like this, where it's Juggernaut or Infection points? Because no one really ever uses them. They just collect the points and never do anything with them. Or would they be like a new currency potentially for Area 51? Well, if they're like gears or something, or tokens, I don't know. Maybe there's some new currency you get for completing whatever mode you do. That'd be very interesting, and I'm very curious to see how that would work. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think so far. Loot boxes, or loot drops, or normal shop. The next one, the 4th one, is tier levels like the Battle Pass in Fortnite. Oh, gosh! Don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out, don't freak out, okay? But it is still an option. Sactic could be like, hey, you see this AK-47 skin? Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching, I bought it. And you could be like, oh, B, right after you unlock a DB, a double barrel shotgun skin, etc. So it could be something like that with the battle pass, or maybe it's like, oh, you unlock, the water skin and then the lava skin, whatever, how that works. But the game would tell you that basically it wouldn't be RNG, and you would be still flat out buying it, but you would not have any choice. You'd have to buy skins in an order, which some people don't like, but it is an option Sactic could take. And also, yeah, and the fifth option and the final option we have for obtaining these skins is just getting them with badges. We talked about this first week, as you can see here, which shows, of course, achievements. What if you can unlock those with badges? We have this here because, yes, it technically could be in combination with the other 4 previous ones we talked about, but it is still an option that Homer could do, just make it all badges, or not. But yeah, I think badges are very likely. We'll see though. But let's just talk about all of these in general and what are the most likely. Loot boxes, pretty controversial. Doesn't seem like Homer is as interested in it. We'll see if he does it. We don't really know. Loot drops is very possible. You could get them just by killing killers. Maybe that's how you get your skins. Normal shop with currency, in my opinion, is the most likely option here. We don't know yet, but just being able to flat out buy skins. Homer's done that in the past with his other games, so I wouldn't be shocked if he does that. Of course, you have tier levels like the Battle Pass. That would be very interesting. I don't know if it's going to happen like that. And of course, badges. I do think we are going to have some gun skins associated with badges. I really do, because look at this first week. If you look achievements, you could achieve a badge and then have your gun skins right in that column. It just works. And of
also,
course,
I feel like most likely badges that will be tied to skins would be like event stuff. Think Vicious Quest 1 and 2, the Winter War, and then Krampus's Workshop. Those would be like the most likely, in my opinion, to get skins. As well as like other really challenging badges, like maybe 50 rounds in Endless, or Infection Leader and Faithful Killer in Infection Mode. Silent Killer would be a good one.
Killer. Ooh. I will say though, yeah, you could unlock these. So what I'm saying is, go get those badges. Now, hey, don't like come back here, in a million years from now and be like, War, you were wrong. There are badges. They didn't come. Okay, don't come back here. Okay, we're insuring ourselves. Okay, we don't actually know.
This is speculation.
It's all speculation here with how they'll be added, but it is still very possible. And with this leak, it is supported. Badges seem to be supported here. And now let's just talk about gun skin types. What am I talking about here? Well, when you unlock, let's just say, a skin, is it just going to be for one gun, or is it just going to cover the whole, wide range of guns? Like, let's just say you buy water skin. Oh my gosh, will that just cover the AK, or will that cover all of them? Will the water skin cover all of them? What do you guys think? These are two opposite things, because if there was water skins for each one that you have to unlock separately, that's 20 plus guns that you have to unlock the same skin for. And now if we look at this first week though, it doesn't seem like that is going to happen. It seems like we're gonna have one skin and it's gonna cover all the guns. And the reason I say that is because you can see the AK-47 has arrows, so you go to each gun and then you can be able to select your skin, and it has like all of these skins here. But yeah, gun skin type. Do you guys think you should, you have to unlock water gun 20 plus times, or do you want to just unlock it once and, be one and done? Because the thing is, yeah, unlocking it 20 times actually would keep people here longer, but at the same time, it might be a little annoying, right? So let us know in the comments what you think about that. And now we have one of the biggest leaks that is brand new shown to the public. Here it is. What is this? What is this? We're pulling it up. Skin pack. What? A game pass? Sactic may be getting its first game pass in at least 5 years or 4 years, whatever. I know, yes, there have been some dev products like in the game, but this is an actual store thing you could buy. And as you can see, here's what it says. It says skin pack. You get the following weapon skins for all weapons. Mind you, all weapons. Sunrise, Vines, Bluefish, Chameleon, and Apocalypse. Interesting that you get them for all weapons, right? Is he saying all weapons because they're all gonna be separate? I don't know. This is we don't really know. But anyway,
first of all, the specific implication of all weapons makes me think that either the skins will actually be exclusive. For example, the way you unlock them would be like blue AK or green ray gun. I think it might actually possibly behave like that, given that it's phrasing it like, oh, you get it for every weapon.
Yeah.
So I think that is interesting. Something else I do want to say. The second thing, the fact that a Game Pass is on standby, ready for release, tells me that this update is way closer than we think it is.
It might be. Genuinely. Like, it shows classic mode checkmark. And it looks like all the gun skins will be available for all modes as well. So that's also something this screenshot confirms as well. But how much is this going to be? We don't know. And some people are a little upset. You know, some people really hate Game Passes. I don't mind it because, you know, Homer, in my opinion, you know, has made these Game Passes cheap for so long that I think he deserves some cha-ching money. You know, I don't know. It's really interesting.
Not to mention, given that it's purely cosmetic, I think it should be fine.
I think it should be fine too. But yeah, we have a potentially confirmed skin Game Pass. Now, why am I mentioning, you know, these skins? Well, let's just go back to that first screenshot. Do you see how it says regular achievements and exclusive? I think these Game Passes are going in the exclusive category. Genuinely, I think they are. Because if you think about it, where else would they go? They wouldn't go in regular because they aren't normally available. The Game Pass ones aren't. Achievements, you don't really achieve anything. Like, you know, you're not actually doing anything. You're just buying it. So I think exclusive, these might be where the exclusive category comes in hand. Achievements might be where badges come in hand. And then regular, of course, could be where that shop comes in hand, those loot boxes, or whatever Homer decides comes in hand. So many options here, though, of course, after all of this yapping. Now, before we move on to, you know, post guns, something Bio brought up, if you don't mind mentioning here, that I think is really interesting. How far are these skins going to go?
Yeah, something I do question. At the moment, it seems like these are merely, like, colors. These are simply recolors. The question I have is, will certain skins change, like, the meshes of the guns, add particles, new sound effects, maybe even new animations? That is something that I am legitimately curious about.
That is very interesting as well, because if it was a new mesh, he'd have to reanimate it for sure, right? And so, I don't know. That is an interesting one. How far? And are we going to add particles? Like, are there going to be, like, crazy particles? Like, who knows? There's so much potential for how Homer could mess with this update. And also, do you want to see Jug and Infection Points be used for these as well? Because then if that happens, then that encourages people to only play those two modes. So I really don't know. But anyway, we'll move on to this very highly speculative part. Keep in mind, this is killer skins. Now, these are not confirmed. We don't really have leaks for these, but they are something people want. We want, and that is alternate skins. What if you could be the old Rake, or you could be the old Michael Myers? What if you could be Rick Astley of the Michael Myers? Who knows, right? There could be alternate skins that you could be for killers. That would be really cool.
You could be Tinsel for Pennywise. Tinsel comes back.
Yes, Tinsel. Or we could have new actual exclusive killers. We actually want this so bad. Like, what if you had a Tinsel killer that you could just be, and he spawns in a random spot that is like no other killer? You know what I mean? Who knows? Like, it'd be really, really cool, though, to see, like, other killers be added to this game, because I think it would visually make it way more, just different. Every server would feel different because you have different types of killers, different types of guns, etc. So I think this update is a big step in the right direction, because longevity-wise, Homer could just add a few more skins in an update, and bam, everyone's coming back for those skins. Like, he doesn't have to do a ton of work here, and I think this is just amazing, because skins, you know, I've been wanted for a long time. I've seen leaks of them for 3 years, but they never have they been this close.
I also have the same question about killer skins. Like, would they be able to have new sounds and animations and such? I feel like that would be easier to do with killers, because, you know, whereas all of the guns are brick built, and that would probably make it very difficult to do certain things. I feel like you could really go above and beyond with certain, like, killers, as long as, like, they're not too, like, different with, like, their hitbox and stuff. Because then, you know, there would be this whole, like, meta of, like, oh wow, old Rake's hitbox is 10% bigger. So Homer would have to be careful with something like that. Yeah, I think it would be interesting, like, especially, like, the old Rake is, like, a crazy killer. Let us know, guys, what you think. This is a huge leak, and without further ado, thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and like the video to show support. I hope to see you in the next one!